Okay, so dear Dharma practitioners, be comfortable yourself and relax your body. Keep your back straight, neck head straight in one line, and your right palm on your left. So gently close your eyes and bring your attention to this bell sound. And while you're focusing to the sound, mentally relax your body, relax your mind, and relax your breathing with your thoughts. So do nothing extra. Just follow the sound, please. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Exalted One, the fully enlightened One. So dear Dhamma practitioners, before we start our practice session, as usual, we'll take few minutes to understand ourselves, how this practice can help for us to develop our inner awareness. So when we understand it helps us to frame our thoughts. It helps us to manage our time. And it helps us to direct our actions. So that all depend on according to how much we understand. So that's why listening and becoming very clear with the technique and the practice is very necessary. Not for all the people, but for some. So then when it comes to yourself, always remember before you practice, get a very good mental frame or the structure and know what you're going to do. Know where you're heading while you practice. So that things will help you to manage the time and get the best out of it. So when it comes to our life, one of the major hindrances is becoming worried. Another way we call is restlessness. And it's kind of like in Pali, there is a word called kukkucha, restlessness or the worry. The more than happiness or the satisfaction, all the human beings spend so much time to become worried. So the worry has a very strong ability to ignite most of our emotions, and it has ability to overtake our consciousness. It has ability to spread, hijack with all the thoughts, the worry. So then we have to look into it a little bit. It's a mental condition. So how it happens and why it happens and what we can do to get out of this worry or the restlessness. So understanding it basically help you to develop your day-to-day conventional life. And at the same time, while you practice meditation, so this worry or the restlessness, if it is arise, then you can work with it. The most of time we think the worry come as a result of the bad things. But if you deeply look into that, the worry happens because you hold it to the kind of like a very positive way of life. And you look that the thing's going to become successful. You jump ahead and predict yourself regarding the future. And you hold many hopes. And why that happened that way? Because we not observe and understand the very environment or the cause and conditions regarding whatever that situation. And then what happened, we overestimate. So as a result of that, what happens, when you can't fulfill that, when you can't reach to that what you thought, then the worry happens. So another thing is that whatever the good things you didn't do in your past, and that also make you worry. So whatever you miss regarding the good things, not about the bad. And that also bring the worry or the restlessness. And there are many other, so let's go step by step. But the most important thing that you have to remember, this worry or the restlessness, in the very first level that you have to understand, it is a very condition of a thought. There is a reason behind it. The thought, the worry or the restlessness arise as a result of something. So then the most natural way our body and mind react is always like to jump ahead. When the restlessness comes, that is what happens. When the worry happens, and it's a kind of like a physically and mentally, we always jump ahead. So as example, when another thing is when it comes to the meditation, so we have the primary mental object, observing the sensation. So once you focus to the mind or to the breathing, it slips out. Your awareness slips out. That is the very nature of the worry. So whatever the physical or mental object that you interfere, your awareness slipped away from that object, and then it make mistake. Restlessness the same. So the restlessness, it's kind of like physically, you have always to kind of like always move to do something, eat something, say something. So that restlessness and the mentally always keep busy with the thoughts. So when you experience this, The very first thing that you have to remember, by just bringing more thoughts, by bringing more actions, you can't stop it. So then you have to start to look into reason that how you can slow down this. So the very first thing, seeing and recognizing. Notice that yourself, that when you worry, restlessness happens in you, you have to recognize it. So sometimes when you experience that worry or the restlessness, you can't do it. So in the beginning, as beginners, as a practitioner, what you can do? After you became worried or restless, once you cool down, once you calm down, start to look into that, what happened to you. So without judging, without doing your favor to any kind of that whatever happened, and detach from the self and start to look into that moment. Just as example, in the morning, you was restless, you was worried. So, but it disappeared because nothing is forever. The mind changed and now you little bit calm down, cool down. So, but you knew in the morning you was worried. So then now you look into that moment and see why it happened, why you was worried, and why you was restless. Look into that. And then you will see behind that, even though moment of that, the restlessness or the worry. So as example, you was worrying and then you neglect that in the morning you had to do something and maybe you blame to someone. You was unhappy and you blame to someone or you break something. So that is just the outcome. So you have to look why you was worried. And then you will see there is a mental pattern that you happen in you. That outcome can be different moment. One time you will break something, and another time when you become worried, you raise your voice. When sometimes when you become worried and you blame to someone, so the outcome going to be different, but the becoming worried has a kind of like a very familiar, similar reasons in you. So tap into that. And that moment you will see there is a mental behavior in you. So in that mental behavior, so one thing is that whatever the mental object or the physical object that you thought, you put unwise attention. You put the unwise attention. That's why you became worried. If you put the wise attention, it's not to happen. So once you know this is one reason. We put unwise attention. And other one is energy and the consciousness unbalance. So the consciousness is the attention, the awareness, the energy is the bring the effort. So when it go unbalanced, as example, you have the so much energy, and when the energy cannot harness with the right attention, so what happens? It's overflow, it's slip. So as example, this cup, just imagine, this cup is the attention. So the energy is the water. So that if you pour the water, then if the cup is full, then it can hold. But if you keep pouring the water, what will happen? Once the cup full, it start to overflow. So like that, when you have the too much energy, but the attention is not capable to handle that energy, that is where the worry or the restlessness come. So then what you need to do? That is why you have to calm down, because when you calm down, mentally calm down, the pouring energy start to slow down. Another thing is, when the too much attention, lack of energy, that way also the worry or the restlessness come. Too much attention, lack of energy. So as example, maybe you hungry, or maybe you sleepy, and it make you kind of like so dull. And now, but at the same time, you have to put the attention, kind of like you sleepy. The good example is you feel so sleepy, and maybe you didn't sleep for a few days, but now you have to drive. Just imagine your attention, you have to bring the attention to drive, but you don't have enough energy. What happened? So then the worry, the restlessness come in you. So as a result, you go out of the balance. Something will happen. And sometimes what happened, say this, when even though we go through these situations, the self-absorption, oh, I'll do it, I can do it. So like that, you don't accept it. You try to hold it, and you try to bring that yourself centered intention, and try to overtake this worry or the restlessness, and then the struggle comes. And then something can happen. So don't have the self-absorption. Release. Don't hold it to that. Release. That releasing means what? Once you see it, accept it and take a necessary action. So that means, maybe if you are driving, everyone know, you drink some water, or you may have to tell to someone, hey, I feel sleepy, I feel weak. Rather than mentally you self holding, oh no, I can do. No. And you pull over, and you sleep. That's everybody know that. But in day-to-day life, I just gave an example, but in day-to-day life, ourselves with our own actions, and sometimes we don't do that. So in the beginning, once you have this restlessness and worry, you have to look into that and recognize. And then that ability becomes stronger. What happened when the worry arises or the restlessness happens, in that very moment, you are capable to recognize what is happening. So once you are capable to that, you slowly can get out. So the very first thing, when the worry or the restlessness happen, recognize, look into that. So how you can develop that skill and look into your past and whatever happened, that the worry or the restlessness happen, and then now you can think about it and see what happened, why you got worried, why the restlessness happened. So that way you develop the skill, then by the time what happened, when the restlessness arises, you are capable to see it. So when you see that, you see certain kind of mental patterns. So one of the important thing what you can recognize, you put unwise attention to any mental object or unwise attention to any kind of situation. So that is one thing. The second one is, it's more mentally, that deeply you have to have a little bit more awareness to see the unbalance of energy and consciousness, awareness. Maybe lack of energy, too much consciousness, concentration, or too much energy, lack of awareness. That is one thing. So then, especially while you practice meditation, that can help for you. So that way, you can slowly bring down it. You can balance it. So as a result of that, worry will disappear, restlessness will disappear. And another one, that before it happens, you can take a action. What you can do. So one of the thing is, the too much conversation, the too much talking, unnecessary, unworthy conversation leads you to, not in the moment, but by the time, leads you to worry or the restlessness. So then remember, if you wish to have a mind without worry or without restlessness, be careful yourself in day-to-day life. Don't interfere with unworthy conversation. And you will see these little things, not about the big topics. These little things can make you worry, ignite your worry in day-to-day life. And that conversation can happen with the text message, Twitter, email. So that kind, and emo, that's kind of anything. The small little thing, as you know, the Twitter is one of the good example. Remember that, you know, that the previous president, he used to tweet, you know, and maybe the whole country, you know, became restless because of the one tweet that what he used to send. So like that, see, that is it's a very limited, you know, your words very limited. It's a small sentence, few words, but when you send the Twitter, you know, very next moment, the whole country go unbalanced. And the whole country go worry. So like that, these little things in day-to-day life ourselves. So whatever you do, that little things can ignite, empower your worry or the restlessness. So then watch yourself. Watch yourself and don't go with it. Maybe stop these little things very hard than the big things. But still, you are capable. It's only take few minutes and moments to pass that time, and once you are capable to hold it, once you not react and do this little thing, what happen? Your mental power become more strong, and that way you creating a kind of like a peace and satisfaction. So it is your own responsibility, and so that way the worry not going to become that much strong. It takes time to completely get out of it. But deeply, the seeing and taking these precautions and the necessary actions is very important. And another thing is the reflecting on the past, and especially that whatever the bad things happen to us, we always remember that, reflect on it, repeat it. And that also bring the worry. So then you have to come to the point to understand each and everything happen as according to the necessary cause and conditions in that environment. It's not going to happen again anymore. There were reasons that whatever happened, it happened. There were a reason for that. So then you have to accept it, and you have to accept nothing is forever, and everything change, and whatever the moment you're going to have in the very next moment, and even the future, it's going to be a brand new. So like that, you have to put the wise attention regarding even that whatever the past situations happen. So those are the certain things that you have to remember. And while you practice, there are certain things before you practice, you have to do in day-to-day life. You have to act with the day-to-day life. So as example, not to get into unnecessary conversation, and not to do these little unnecessary things, and not to reflect on the past and whatever happened, and not to worry about it anymore, and not to always have the too much positive hopes regarding the future, and not to put unwise, the kind of like unwise attention to the environment and to the thoughts, to the world, to the object or the situations. So those are things that in day-to-day life we have to practice. And while you practice meditation, one of the major important things, balancing the energy and awareness. That is one of the major important thing. Another thing is, while you practice meditation, you can bring the wise attention also, and knowingly, because just a sensation of inhalation, exhalation, it's just the moment. And when the mind slips away, and then you become worried about it. It's a kind of like the mind bring the moment to jump ahead, or the bring many other thoughts. So while you practice meditation, will help for you to calm down and bring the clear attention to the inhalation, exhalation, and stay on the primary mental object. So that will increase your mental ability. So in day-to-day life overall, that if you understand basically how this worry and this restlessness happens, that you more deeply recognize, it is more that you have a mental pattern behavior, and seeing it, recognizing it, and taking the necessary actions for that, all the mental actions is the key point to get out of the worry. Not to struggle with this outside, because the very reasons that happen as a result of the condition of our mind. So be very clear about it and try to again and again go with these reasons and try to exercise yourself, and then you will see how the result can come to you. So with that, let's get into practice now a little bit. So your right palm on your left, neck head straight in one line, and be comfortable with your posture. So bring your attention to your body and scan head to toes yourself and say Suapat Veva, or may I be well and happy 3 times. Take a moment and think. We gathered here in this moment to practice this ancient meditation technique. All the Buddhas, all the enlightened masters followed this path and achieved wisdom. So we also gathered here to accumulate that knowledge. In this moment, with this sitting, may my body become more comfortable. May my breath be more smooth. May no difficulties come to me. May all the success come to me. Also think for a moment. This is the last moment we're spending in this very lifetime. And detach your mind from all your past memories and as well as any kind of future thoughts. Just try to remain in the present moment, observing the sensation of inhalation and exhalation. So in the beginning, deeply and gently breathe in, breathe out 3 times and find the sensation, please. And allow your inhalations, exhalations happen itself. When it happens, through the sensation of it, recognize inhalation as inhalations, exhalations as exhalations. Do nothing extra. Bring your attention to your body, please. Observe your posture. We cultivate loving kindness and compassion in our heart and radiate it as a light through entire your compound, village, city, state, country, world, around this universe. Also as far as you can through galaxies, other planets, stars. Reminding yourself like this. With clear intention, mentally repeat after me. May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. May everyone be happy and safe. And may their hearts be filled with joy. May all living beings live in security and in peace. Beings who are frail or strong, tall or short, big or small, visible or not visible, near or far away, already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one out of anger or ill will wish anyone any harm. Expand the loving kindness and compassion beginning from your heart. Forward, visualize yourself and send it as a light. To your backside, to your left side, and to your right side. Downward, and upward. To all six directions at once, like the moon, the sun, spread the light, spread the energy, without any condition, without any limitation, without any resistance or without any judgment. Let your heart to shine with the loving kindness and compassion from the bottom of it, with the maximum effort to the highest, wishing yourself, may all living beings in this universe be well and happy. Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So first of all, we offer this practice to the great qualities of the Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha. And also by the power of this meritorious deed, may all of us attain to the supreme bliss of Nibbana. May all your guardian angels and deities will receive these merits and increase their longevity and protect all of you from any kind of planetary influences or any ill effects. Ittavata chamyehi sampadam punya sampadam sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya Imaya dhammanu dhamma patipattiya buddham pujemi dhammam pujemi sangham pujemi Addaya imaya patipattiya jati jara vyadi maranam ha paribunjisami Idamme punya kammang asavakkaya vahang hotu sabba dukkha pamuncatu. Bless you.